way of living in the every corner of the world. The hardest hit industry is hospitality industry. Hospitality teachers, universities and colleges are facing two basic problems. What should be our strategy to teach students and sharpen their skills in this lockdown? And after the lockdown, what are the new trends going to be included in hotels post COVID? And what they need to modify which may help building a future hotelier.
A very warm good morning to all of you. This is your host, Shashikant. I welcome everyone to the webinar on the topic post-COVID-19 teaching and career path for hospitality management. Our discussion panel includes Mrs. Kranti Pundhir, food science and nutrition expert, Mr. R.K. Sharma, HOD IHM Lucknow, Mr. Nishant Negi, General Manager ITC Hotels Dwarka, Dr. Jagdeep Khanna, Principal IHM Dehradun. Before we start, I would like to invite our Honorable Vice Chancellor Sir, Dr. Rajesh Bahuguna Sir, to inaugurate the session.
On the occasion of this webinar on the topic of the post-COVID-19 teaching and career path for hospitality management, present today's keynote speaker, Mrs. Kranti Pundi, food science and nutrition expert, Mr. R.K. Sharma, HOD IHM Lucknow, Mr. Nishant Negi, General Manager, ITC Hotel Dwarka, Dr. Jagdeep Khanna, Principal IHM Dehradun, Principal of School of Hotel Management of Uttarakhand University, Mr. Manish Badoni, today's host, Mr. Nishant, all participants from this university and other universities. I am taking this privilege to extend my greeting to all of you. And at the same time, I welcome you on the behalf of our Hotel Management College and also entire Uttarakhand University family. You all are most welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, today's topic for this webinar is the most contemporary issue. Like today we are standing at a juncture, particularly hospital industry and education industry, when the only question is crossing in our mind, how are we going to manage our management after COVID-19? So in every part of the industry, discussion and deliberations are going on, trying their level best so as to come up with a modality which can best suit to the industry at the same time, following the legal provisions, also the advisory given by the different competent authority of the country. As far as teaching and career path for the hospital industry, hospital management, concerned, this is hospitality industry is one which is most attacked by this pandemic. And similarly the aviation industry. So all the scholars, they are trying to give some of the solution. So this today's webinar is also with the aim and objective as the expert before me, food and scientists, nutrition experts, and those who are holding key posts in the top-notch institution of hospitality management of the country. So with this, I hope today's deliberation, today's webinar will come up with the meaningful result and good deliberation and interaction. With this, I wish all the best to the organizers. My all the messages are with you. And once again, our experts, keynote experts, welcome on the behalf of Uttaranchal University. Thank you so much. Over to host.
Thanks a lot, sir, for your kind words. Now, I would like to invite our resource person, the first resource person. He is an ideal for many hospitality students. He is acknowledged by Lucerne Hospitality Consulting Switzerland, also by Indian Society for Training and Development, and by American Hotels and Lodging Association. Sir has worked in India and overseas with hotels like The Oberoi, Hyatt, and UP Tourism Development. Sir is currently working with IHM Lucknow, Mr. R.K. Sharma. Sir, my question to you is, as you know that we are facing lots of challenges. So what you find, what are the challenges in teaching students online? And my second question to you is, how we may provide knowledge and skills online to students? Over to R.K. Sharma, sir, HOD IHM Lucknow.
A very good morning, everybody. Thank you, Dr. Rajesh Bahuguna and his team for inviting me on this esteemed panel. Dear panel members and all the participants, thanks for having me here. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Audio and the video clear? Okay. So coming straight to your question, Shashi, question number one was, what are the challenges in teaching students online? So I think since February, March, we all have been trying new online methods. Some are working, some are not working. But in this brief time of 3 or 4 months, the kind of challenges that I have been able to list down 4 or 5, apart from the infrastructure issues relating to internet availability and power and so on and so forth. The point number one that comes to my mind is that I think probably the trainers or the facilitators or the educators, as you might like to call them, will have to retrain themselves, probably unlearn a few things and learn a few new things. Most of us are now dealing with technology, so it's going to be technology, plus how to adapt the traditional training methods on the online platform. Challenge number two that is being noticed is lack of personal contact with the trainee or with the student. So that one-to-one, sometimes the trainee is not visible when you're doing online. So you are unable to judge the body language and so on. Lack of personal contact is number two. Managing interactions at times is becoming a challenge. So how to maintain the discipline on the forum, how to manage the interactions. Some interactions will come via chat and so on. So I think one will have to look into that. The next is, of course, dealing with the performance of the students. How do we want to measure the performance of the students, and how do we want to monitor it? So we'll have to probably tune and come up with new learning management systems apart from the traditional ones. That is one challenge. And last but not the least, how to keep the trainees and the students motivated, because they all are attending sessions from remote locations, online. They're not in one-to-one contact with you. So that was answering your question number one, relating to challenges in teaching online. So that educators, trainers will have to keep on fine-tuning, taking feedback, and then incorporating it into the next level methods that we want to use. As regards to strategy, a lot of input that I have been getting relating to strategy is some people are suggesting a strategy of 80-20, 80% online and 20% student-related, self-assessments and tutorials and so on and so forth. There is another school of thought which is trying out a 40-40-20 approach, where 40% theoretical modules go online, especially in our industry where there is a lot of practical elements involved. 40% practical part we are still struggling with, seeing whether online plus on the job at hotels can be done. But of course, keeping social distancing in mind, the numbers of the practical groups will have to be smaller. So that is the other 40 part, and 20% of the work will have to be done by the students. So there are things like assignments, tutorials, quizzes, etc. being planned online. So it's all work in progress. I think we'll have to keep on reinventing ourselves and fine-tuning the system. So these are some of the points that come to my mind, and these are some of the feedbacks that I've received from other webinars and interactions with other trainers. I hope I answered both your questions, but if you have any clarification required on any of these issues, please feel free to ask.
That was Mr. R.K. Sharma, sir. Thanks a lot, sir, for your kind words again. Our next speaker is Mrs. Kranti Pundir. Ma'am has did MSc in Food Science and Nutrition. She is UGC NET also. Works as food science and nutrition expert. Attended many social events for busting the myths about food, and is working with IHM Dehradun. Ma'am, we would like to know from you, this pandemic is a challenge for the hospitality sector. So what suggestions you may give to the chefs working in academics and in industry while compiling their menu? And one more thing, ma'am, what are the myths you are going to burst today?
Thank you for inviting me. So you said that it's a challenge for hospitality industry, but I think it's a challenge for everyone. And we can see that every year new viruses are emerging, and this is due to human infringement. And this COVID-19 reminds us how essential it is to focus on sustainably managing the natural resources. So coming to the question that what should I suggest to chef is like, first point is we should focus on, or every industry should focus on, like climate resilience. It's very important now. And for chefs, they should like focus on shorter supply chain. If we have to like deal with this with these kind of problems, it is very important now. The shorter supply chain means introducing or procuring the raw material from local areas, like the produce from same geographical condition. It will help like it will help the farmers of that area. We know that farmers don't get enough amount for their produce So if the hospitality industry will focus on shorter supply chains, they will definitely get a good market for them. And the most important thing is, if we will include the raw material, or we will procure the raw material from the local areas, these foods are very rich in nutrients, because we know that during transportation and storage, most of the vitamins, mainly vitamins, are lost. And nowadays, so many packaged food is introduced in the market with lots of, like, telling that these are full of antioxidants and full of vitamins, but during storage and transportation, mainly vitamin C is lost. So if we will procure from the local areas, there will be less transport and less storage, and it will enhance the nutritive value of food. Second is, it will, like, there will be no transportation, or very less transportation, so there will be less emission of carbon, and this will lead to carbon neutral environment. So in this way, the hospitality industry can help. I know it's bit difficult, but it's not impossible. Secondly, I would like to focus on that the menu should include the material or raw ingredients, which should be like natural and seasonal from the same geographical condition, and it should restrict the use of packaged and convenience food. So why I'm saying we should restrict the packaged food, because they, to increase their shelf life, they add many preservatives to it, and these preservatives are really harmful, and many researchers suggest that lots of, like, preservatives which are added to the food are carcinogenic, means if we consume for a longer period of time, they can cause cancer. They mention that it is full of antioxidants, right? But these antioxidants are natural. These are class 2 preservatives like BHA and propionate. These are added to the food, and they sell these products by saying that these are antioxidant, it's good for your body. But the truth is that they are carcinogenic, they cause cancer. So like, this is a collective effort. We all should focus on natural food, seasonal food, and we should just restrict the use of packaged food. I know it's not possible, but it's not impossible also. Okay, and about myth busting is like, in hospitality industry, lots of, I think, chemical is used in the name of hygiene. So I would like to suggest the hospitality industry that please uh, use or restrict the use of chemicals, because this is hindering our environment. Like, there are so many products which are eco-friendly. They can use those products to achieve hygiene. Water is a very good, like, we can use it for maintaining hygiene. Like, in 82 degrees Celsius, water can be used as a sanitizer. So there are many things we can use, and we should go for eco-friendly things.
Very nice.
Okay.
Anything else
Ma'am,
you want to ask? Any myth you
uh,
want me to bust?
uh, we all are actually confused.
Okay.
Like, what should we eat, or what a chef should now include into their food
Okay.
that may boost our immunity?
Okay.
Immunity.
So, uh, immunity boosters are all the natural foods. All the natural foods contains vitamins, minerals, carbohydrates, proteins.
Mhm.
But the vitamins are very volatile. They are destroyed very easily, and these vitamins play
Yes.
a crucial role in enhancing the immunity. So what happens during storage and transportation, these vitamins are lost. So the chef should include the raw ingredients or the fruits and vegetables, especially from the local areas, because there will be less transportation and less storage. And according to RDA, 100 grams of green leafy vegetables per day and 100 grams of fresh fruits and vegetables, that too seasonal, should be included per person. So immunity booster is fresh seasonal fruits and vegetables and yes, fruits.
So ma'am is trying to say that we should focus on to local or local foods.
Yes,
Exactly. Right, ma'am is right. Somehow we have started believing that avocado is more nutritious, which is
and
from
olive
Latin.
oil we have to. Then mustard oil is good for us, for North Indians. For South Indians, coconut oil is good.
Right.
And that too, it should be like refined oils are very poisonous. They are slow poison, so please restrict the use of refined oils.
Exactly. So that was Mrs. Kranti Pundir, our food science expert, and ma'am has really busted a lot of myths today. And she has focused. She has said that we can focus on to local products, local foods, and we need to now believe onto our local products. Like it's really a myth that we should be focusing on to muesli, oats. They are of course nutritious, exactly, but locally is always going to help us because that is according to our ecosystem. It's going to help our body, of course. Am I right, ma'am? Right. So thanks a lot, ma'am, for
Thank you.
enlightening. Thank you. Yeah, our next resource person is Mr. Nishant Negi. Mr. Negi is a big name in the hospitality sector. Sir started his career as MT with JP Palace Hotel Agra and worked with many national and international brands like IHG, Renaissance, Taj Lands End, ITC Mughal Agra, Sheraton New Delhi, ITC Maratha, ITC Grand Chola. Sir is currently working as General Manager, ITC Welcome Hotel, Dwarka. So, Mr. Negi, so my question to you is, due to this pandemic, it will be a tough job to win the trust of the guests back. So, how are you accepting this challenge? And my second question is, what is your suggestion for hospitality schools? Over to Nishant Negi, sir.
Hi, good morning, everybody. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Great. Thank you, Shashikant. First of all, I would like to congratulate the Chancellor of Uttaranchal University, Mr. Joshi, Vice Chancellor Professor Bhaguna, and Principal SHM Uttaranchal University Manish Baduni for conducting this webinar and inviting me to be the one of the speakers. Thank you very much. This effort of putting up this webinar itself is the testimony for the university team for looking ahead in the future and prepare the generation for new opportunities and challenges. That's what I believe. Coming back to the question, the strategy to win trust back of the customer, I think the most important value is that health is the new wealth in today's time. The single most important thing that this pandemic has done is told people how vulnerable they are. Everything else that has happened, it's an offshoot. People have realized the importance of safety, which assumes greater importance because what I call the fear of infection. Therefore, there is an enhanced focus on distancing and disinfecting. Cleanliness has become the new amenity. Hotels that used to say location, location, location now will have to say cleanliness, cleanliness, and cleanliness. I would like to quote our Executive Director, Mr. Nakul Anand here. In the service industry, every interaction with the customer is a moment of truth. Now, every interaction is going to be a moment of trust. You will have to physically demonstrate that a customer can trust you. And setting up the standards, ITC reinforcing its globally acknowledged responsible luxury ethos that seeks to create a better and secure world. ITC Hotels has launched a path-breaking initiative called We Assure. In a first of its hospitality industry, the discerning guests of ITC Hotels will be reassured by accreditation by National Accreditation Board of Hospitals and Healthcare Providers, NABH, and the leading standard organization for sanitization, hygiene, safety, and infection control practices. We are also partnering with DNV GL Business Assurance, one of the world's leading certificate bodies to ensure stringent clinical level of hygiene and safety. These assurance in time certification will stand testimony to the rigorous hygiene protocol being put in place to ensure that safety of guests and associates in the hotel across India. So VAssure is a holistic program that addresses all facets of hotel operations, from revised protocols for the back of the house activity at the receiving store, back offices, laundry, to the public areas with heightened sanitization measures for guests, their luggage, elevators to room service, etc., etc. Well, it's a detailed program, but I will share some key highlights, what hotels are doing and how we are gearing up. All vehicles which will be coming to the hotel will undergo stringent daily deep cleaning protocols. Chauffeurs will undergo regular temperature checks and wear prescribed PPE, which is personal protective equipment at all time. All guests will undergo a mandatory contactless temperature check. Guests will be offered sanitizers and face masks on arrivals. Their luggage will be sanitized and labeled as sani-tagged. All the associates in the hotel will be wearing PPE. Guests have the options of making contactless payments from the room via digital payment like during checkout. Room cleaning and servicing is carried out only in the absence of the guest by trained housekeeping staff who will also be wearing a PPE. All the physical collaterals which were there kept in the room, all this long, will be removed and replaced with digital communications accessible through QR codes. So you won't find a service directory in the room anymore in the hotels. You will find a QR code. The guest can scan a QR code and the service directory would be available on the phone. Dining experience definitely will change. Restaurant layouts and seating arrangements have been remodeled to maintain safe distancing. All tables have been decluttered. Common shareable items have been replaced with individual packed condiments. Crockery, cutlery, glassware is sanitized and packed in a food grade cover for protection. Contactless ordering through e-menus supported with digital billing via online payments. The program specification will reassure guests of visible stringent cleanliness and disinfection process that benchmark clinically hygiene standards, offering guests unparalleled comfort with peace of mind. Coming back to your second question, what is the suggestion for hospitality schools? Well, I would say the future of hotel is here to stay. Going forward, I guess you have to learn to coexist with this for a year or 2 years. Even after the vaccine is found, it is going to take some time before somebody is immunized.
Right.
That is what I call the telescope stage. I think India has a great opportunity to reinvent itself. Incredible India can be more incredible than ever. We need to look at new markets and new trends and how we can create new products for new markets. Example, yoga, Ayurveda, etc. Albeit we will become more religious after this pandemic, I guess, and there will be more travel to religious places. Hospitality schools will also have to keep an eye on the changing trends and enhance their curriculum accordingly. Some points which come to my mind are, sanitization, hygiene, safety, and infection control certification programs. Emphasis on domestic tourism and promoting state attractions, regional cuisines, local cuisine, local food, religious tourism. These will replace the foreign attraction completely. There will be a complete focus on health and well-being. So, the universities can think about yoga certifications, stress management for the associates, for the students. The key focus, I think, should be here on multitasking for all the students. I must tell that, most of the hotels will look for multitasking associates, a person who can work in food and beverage and in front office as well. These will be the key focus areas for hotels. Enhancing strength on technology training, digitalization, role of social media in today's time. These will take the front seat. For people of Uttaranchal, I would say enhancing communication skills, both written and verbal. This is the time, you have time in hand, you have 4-5 months in hand, you can definitely enhance your communication skills. And also further strengthen your technical knowledge. And what I personally believe in today's time, one can also enhance their technical and personal development through pursuing online courses which are available on edX, Coursera, Swayam. These are certain websites where you can enroll yourself and take some personal development classes as well. So this is what it is, Shashikant.
Great. So, sir, can we take some questions? We have some participants asking questions.
Sure.
Yeah, there is one question from a student who is going to pass out this year. So he wants to know about his scopes. Is it like what's going to happen? He's uncertain about his job.
See, I said that, hotel industry is here to stay. So he will have to hang in tight. We will have to start learning coexisting with this, for a year or two. I'm sure everybody is aware. There are a lot of people, there are a lot of hotels who have laid off people. People are on leave without pay, so on and so forth. So this will come back. This will bounce back for sure.
Exactly.
I think the students should use these times to, attend some personal development classes, which are online courses, and increase their knowledge, increase their technical knowledge, increase their communication skills, so on and so forth, and wait and hang in.
Exactly. So that was Nishant sir from ITC Hotels. Thanks a lot, sir, for enlightening our students, and for students who are participating into this webinar. There are some informations I would like to share to you. We have just received informations like Sinclair Hotel, which is there in Siliguri, Vardhaman, is going to reopen today. There are some hotels and restaurants. They are also going to be open in Karnataka. Travel and Tourism Association of Goa, they have also urged to open hotels. And you all know that Spain is now open to be traveled, so there will be no any problem. And I believe that we need to just give some time. We need to just wait. So let's now come to our next keynote speaker. Our next keynote speaker is Dr. Jagdeep Khanna sir. Sir is Principal IHM Dehradun. Sir holds Diploma in Hotel Management and Catering, graduated in Humanities, and is MBA in HR and a PhD holder. Sir has 30 years of experience in both industry and academics, held position of Head Operations and Administration with 3 states like Uttar Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, and Madhya Pradesh. Sir was an ex-member of the expert team of AICTE and ex-member of Board of Governors of a reputed institute. Sir has published many international research papers. Dr. Khanna, there is only one question to you, but it's really important for the students who are watching and for other participants. So what have we learned from this COVID-19 crisis? And how can we prepare our students ready for the new hotel industry? So over to Khanna sir.
Good morning to one and all. And I express my sincere gratitude to the Chancellor, Vice Chancellor, all the faculty members, and you especially for inviting me on this special webinar of the Uttaranchal University. Well, I would like to say that this pandemic is only creating a terror. Only creating a terror. It is just like a disease, where so many diseases have occurred before also. If you remember, previously also there was dengue, then it was HIV, then it was AIDS. Though they were all diseases and they were also spreading like anything. But people continued to work. People went everywhere, here and there. Though they were more infectious. But this disease or this pandemic is not going to stay long. Every virus has a small period of its own existence. And I think this is not going to last for a long. Now, everybody is thinking that what will be the scope of the hotel industry? I speak in broad terms that what will be the scope of the economy across the globe? This pandemic is not affecting only the hotel industry. It is affecting each and every industry of this country. If you see even the IT industry, that has also affected very badly. If you see automobile industry, there was not a single vehicle sale for 3 continuous months. say for any other industry, even for the MSMEs also. So it was a hard time for each and every. But as the other industries has also given the confidence to the people, to their workers, to the employees, that slowly and gradually now they are coming and they're getting used to this sort of a. Now we have to coexist with this. Like previously I was hearing Mr. Nishant Negi, the general manager. We have to coexist with this. It's not that we will stop living. We have to find the remedies for this. Now, the best remedy is that we have to follow the standard protocols, what have been issued by the different ministries and especially the ICMR. The best remedial is that we have to cover our face with the mask, wash our hands, keep safe distancing, social distancing is more important. So when we follow all these parameters, definitely it is not going to affect a lot. Now, as previously Mr. Nishant Negi has said, that they have adopted the various features, various systems to avoid the contact of the guests with the hotel staff. That's true. But definitely it will going to affect the costing factor also of the operations of the hotel. And that costing factor at times gives an impact on the remuneration of the employees, the placement of the employees. If everything becomes digital to a certain extent, human resources will be decreased to a certain extent. We have to find some ways that this should not be affected. The human manpower should not be affected a lot. They have rightly said, Spain is doing well now, New Zealand is doing well, Australia has also started. Recently, Switzerland has also opened up their hotels, Germany has opened up their hotels. But keeping in mind all the SOPs which are mandatory, not necessary, but they are mandatory. You have to keep the social distancing. If it is a table of 4, you have to keep it with a table of 2. So these are the norms which are to be strictly adhered and followed. And once we become used to it, and recently, I think you must all be aware of that fact, that there was in the news yesterday that some medicine has been developed by the Glenmark Company of India for this pandemic. And it was given in the news that it will be coming into the market within a week or so. Now, when these vaccines start coming into the market, the fear, the constant fear which is in the mind of the people, that will definitely fade away slowly and gradually. Now, with this pandemic, the scope of the tourism, rural tourism, wellness tourism, and the tourism on the outskirts of the cities will grow definitely. People themselves will try to move in the areas where they are less crowded, which has more open space, more towards the environment. This will have a better growth. And we hope that it will have a bright future. Now, as far as the academics part is concerned, yes, now we have to train the students as per the new methodology of the operations of the hotel. We have to demonstrate them the PPE kits. We have to give them the training to do the service the PPE kits if it is desired. We have to focus more on digitalizations. We have to focus more on the e-trainings. These are the things which will need more focus in the coming days. Now I give you an example, as everybody is saying, that what is the scope of the hotel industry, what is the scope of the students who are going to pass out this year or say next year. If you remember, around about 20-25 years back, there was a boom in the IT industry, a strong boom. Everybody was going into this different sort of curriculum, different sort of short courses with the IT industries, accounting methods, accounting procedures, and everybody was either getting a job within India or across the globe. All of a sudden, there was a great retrenchment in the US for this IT industry. But did the people stop working for the IT industry? 5 years before also, say 10 years before also, there was a great retrenchment in the IT industry. Did the people stop learning the IT? Are the computer software engineers not coming out from the colleges? Are the people not getting the job? These ups and downs are definitely going into the industry and into the individual's life. One has to have the patience. But now it is the right time to escalate our knowledge in the respective field, whatever the aptitude an individual has. The knowledge or the skill that they will be escalating of their own on the various programs which are being given nowadays on the online will definitely enhance their skills, and yes, they will have a better opportunity than the others getting into an employment. There will not be any dearth of employment, that much I can assure you. This is only a small time gap, say 6 months or so, not more than that. Next year again, with the beginning of the year only, say by January or so, the industry will be boom back again in all the thresholds. The fear this vaccine starts working, you will see a positive change within a very short span of time. But on the contrary, we have to be very strict on the SOPs to be followed. The students should not worry. At times, they also sit off their own idle when they don't get the job. But it's an opportunity, it's a learning process which has been given to them. They can learn on various websites, various programs, and even through these webinars also, online webinars. They can enhance their knowledge. They can upgrade their skills. So nothing to worry, nothing to get panicked. Have patience. You won't have lost anything. You will not lose also. Only patience and hard work will definitely be rewarded. And you all will be rewarded who are with your fidelity. I assure you once. Thank you. Any question? I'm ready to answer.
That was Dr. Khanna. Thanks a lot, sir. I would request if there is any question you may ask. There is one question for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. How we can conduct exams for practical sessions or practicals?
For which year? For the final year or for the first, second, third year of the semester system? What you're conducting?
It's not clear, but yes, for everyone, I mean for first sem, for final year, how we may conduct the exams for practical.
Now, to be honest with you, I thought for the final year exams, we should have a time-bound schedule of the practical examinations should be conducted. 20 students. It depends upon the elaborate menu, but we should focus on the basics what the industry requires for them to learn or to know. And if you do a small menu, the duration from 3 hours could be reduced to 1.5 hours, and their skills could be judged.
Right. Exactly.
And it should be in a group of only 2, not more than 2 working on a station. And above all the SOPs should be followed in letter and spirit and with strict compliance. That is more important.
So nice. So, thank you, sir. We are really grateful to Dr. Khanna for motivating us and to all other participants. Now, I would like to request and invite Mr. Manish Baruni, Principal, School of Hospitality Management, Uttaranchal University, to address the session and sum up the session. So, over to you, sir.
Good morning, one and all. As we all know that this is unprecedented situation faced by the entire human civilization, and the worst hit sector we are talking about is tourism. As all our entire distinguished guests have already mentioned, so we all believe that it requires some changes both at the industry as well as academic levels, as we are the major stakeholders in terms of tourism. We have to follow the new norms and strictly adhere to it. The focus will be, as Kanti ma'am said, the focus will be more on the healthy foods and hygiene. But one thing that comes out, we all believe that it's a temporary phase and will pass out. We all are hopeful that the hospitality industry is going to bounce back with a greater impact. I would like to thank all our distinguished guests on behalf of School of Hospitality Management, Uttaranchal University, Dr. Jagdeep Khanna sir, a source of inspiration for all of us. Mr. R.K. Sharma sir, one of my guru and mentor from IHM Lucknow. Mr. Nishant Negi, my buddy and a professional hotelier. Ms. Kranti Pundi, food science and nutrition expert, to enlighten us with their great knowledge and wisdom. Thank you, everyone. Over to Shashi sir. I've got a question. I'm typing the question. Please take a question.
You may ask, sir, if you want to ask to anyone. So please.
Okay. My question is to Nishant Negi. If you can hear me.
Nishant, sir,
when we talk about, you're talking about new norms, you're talking about PPE kits, you're talking about, but when we're talking, ultimately we all are talking about business, right? We are talking about social distancing. A restaurant with a cover of maybe 120 cover restaurant now would be working with maybe 40 or 60 covers, right? So how we are going to manage our source of income? Because ultimately it's all business.
See, Manish, we are hopeful. What I personally believe, we are social animal. We would like to go out and eat out. You know, I can give you a current example. What's happening in Gurgaon? Gurgaon was locked down for almost 2.5, 3 months now. And as you see, the restaurants have opened up. The few malls have opened up. You can see people coming back to these restaurants. And you can also see these restaurants following social distancing, using PPE, wearing masks, wearing gloves, making the service contactless. So everything is coming back to normal. We will have to start living with it. We cannot we cannot avoid this for a longer period, and that's exactly is happening. So we are hopeful. I'm not very much sure, but I'm hopeful that things will come back. It might take some time for business to come back to what we closed, what everybody did in 2019. Yeah, you can say that the industry has been hit and we have gone back at least 3 to 4 years back in time in terms of revenues, but it will bounce back in a year or 2 years time.
One thing. I used to believe, as a hotelier or as a hospitality professional, I was one of your batchmates, right? 95, 98 batch. R.K. Sharma sir was our teacher, right? We were always taught that a smile on your face, that's always is going to pay you back, right? But now a hotelier, his face, his smile covered behind a mask. How it's going to impact?
Now the smile will be in the voice, when you in the eyes and in the voice. When you smile and you talk, people can actually make out that you are smiling, right? So that will definitely be, that cannot be taken away from the hotel industry. And this mask business is also for some time only, maybe a year or 2 years till the time vaccine is being made, people are immunized, and let's be hopeful. But please smile behind the mask also. Please smile.
We talk about, this question is for R.K. sir. I'm sorry. This question is for R.K. sir because he was our F&B, he was like our lecturer for the F&B service, right? The question is when we talk about hospitality industry, we always talked about personalized service, the wow effect that is used by the term used by Oberoi, right? Now, due to this COVID-19, that wow effect would be affected. Yeah, you can say there would be no more personalized service because we need to follow certain norms, social distancing. We have to make the communication. We have to minimize the communication. So how we are going to cope up with this? RK sir.
I think it is going to be continuous learning. I think I was recently seeing whether it was Switzerland, somewhere they created glass cottages, glass houses, tables for two, and service going on there and so on. So I think it's going to be a lot of out of the box thinking, and that personalization will remain. The only thing is that the safety will be the top priority. So taking the precautions that one has to take according to the current scenario. A few changes here and there, of course, a lot of use of technology and like Nishant was mentioning QR codes and use of AI and so on and so forth. But I think it's not going to be robots serving you. A lot of people are talking about robotic service also, using robots and so on and so forth. I think one or two restaurants in Bangalore are trying it also. That human element will be there. It will be limited. And let's hope it comes back to the old normal rather than everybody talking about the new normal. So we are, senior citizens in this industry, having seen the old normal also. So I think I just hope that everything becomes okay and we talk less about the new normal and we come back to the old normal, and the industry also comes back bouncing back. I hope I answer your question, Manish.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Over to Shashi, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for asking such questions. Now let's sum up this session. So we have we have got some suggestions from Kranti ma'am, from RK Sharma sir, from Nishant sir, and Dr. Jagdeep Khanna sir. First of all,
Sir,
we would like to congratulate everyone to come on to this common platform and to share their views. According to ma'am, she has said that we should focus on to local foods, and chefs need to work onto this. According to RK Sharma sir, we need to come with such platform where we could interact with students more efficiently, and we will be seeing much advancement into this. According to Nishant sir, there will be new SOPs which are going to come, and of course they have already started applying those SOPs into the industry. And sir has also suggested us to come with such programs where we could certify students in hygiene and sanitation. According to Dr. Jagdeep Khanna sir has suggested us that there is no magic, like what we do into the classrooms cannot be done online. But due to this pandemic, we have to learn. And of course, we are also going to change our teaching pattern. And of course, students are also going to change. There will be, of course, a challenge into this skill part, because hotel management or hospitality management, you all know that we have to give skills to our students. So just hope for the best, and we hope that this will end soon, and we will see again a sunny day. So on to that note, I would like to now conclude and end this webinar. Thanks a lot to all the participants. I would like to request participants to fill the feedback form, which will be emailed to you just after the session. It will ensure your certification as well. Thanks a lot.